Great, perfect. So first of all, thank you very much to PHT and to everyone who was organizing this this webinar. So I'm very happy to have the chance to present you SAIREM and also our technology to all of you guys. So basically, during the next hour, I will present you the company and the different solutions that we can offer for tempering and defrosting. So first of all, just a quick introduction to SAIREM. So we are a French company. It was created in 1978, so 32 years ago. We produce microwave equipment and also radio frequency equipment. So we'll see later on the differences between these both technologies. But basically, we are present in several markets. So the food industry is one part of the business, something let's say like 30% of the business. And then we are also present in other applications like the scientific industry or drying, for example. SAIREM, to give you some figures, so 42 years experience, 15 million euros turnover last year, with a 36% growth compared to the previous year. So it's a company which is growing a lot in terms of the sales. I personally joined the company in 2014. At that time, we had a turnover of 7 million euros. So we are increasing a lot on this thing. It's also a company with a lot of patents. So we have 8 patents in total. And also 10% of the turnover, which is for the R&D. Okay, so as I said, we are based in France, in Lyon. So Lyon is the third biggest city in France. So it's about 500 kilometers in the south of Paris, not far away from the Alps, about 3 hours from the Mediterranean Sea. Our company is located just between Lyon downtown and the airport. So it means that for you potential customers, partners, existing customers, it's quite easy and quite convenient to visit us. We have international flights. We have also the possibility to travel by train for people coming from Paris, or to come by car as well. And also for us, for the sales department, also from our colleagues from the after sales department, it's very easy and very quick to visit our customers anytime. So SAIREM, we are selling a lot outside the French market, I would say. Most of the sales that we have is on the export, so about 90% of the turnover. And we have customers in more than 70 countries in the world. We also have a huge network of engineers and of distributors, sorry, about 60 distributors worldwide. The company, we are 60 people, 10 people for R&D, for engineers. We also have 8 people for the after-sales sales, and also we have 7 different nationalities at SAIREM. Okay. Some of the biggest companies who are working with us. So basically, you may see some of the famous brands like Danish Crown, like Sigma, like BRF, Brazilian Food, Herta, Bit Food as well. So basically, we have a lot of big companies, but also some smaller companies which are looking for
South African company.
I'm sorry?
Oh, shit.
Deline? I think Deline didn't realize she was talking to you, Matt. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. So actually, I was saying that we have a lot of companies, big companies, who are using tempering equipment with microwave or radio frequency, but also we are working with some smaller companies which are looking for, let's say, a new system, either to temper more quickly or because they have drip losses that they want to solve. Yeah. So basically, there are machines adapted to any kind of capacities or any kind of companies. Okay. So first of all, I would like to show you our technologies. So I have a video. I hope it's going to be working. Basically, the aim of the video is to show you, first of all, the principle of the microwave technology. So you have several components. You have the cavity, the generator, which is on the back of the cavity, and here some waveguides. And basically, the objective is to put the products here on a continuous belt. On batch machines can be also manual system, and the microwaves will be coming from the top and from the bottom. So in order to have, let's say, a distribution into the product from everywhere, from the top, from the bottom, the tempering time is very quick. It's the shortest on the market. It's between 3 and 10 minutes, according to the product, according to the final temperature looking for, and also according to fat percentage for meat products. So basically, it's adapted to any kind of frozen products. On the right-hand side, you can see a regular block of MDM chicken. On the left-hand side, you can see a meat block. Yeah? So basically, you can use any kind of products for meat, and tempering time will be maximum 10 minutes, and the final temperature will be negative between -4 and -2 degrees. For some products, there's also the possibility, let's say, to be closer to 0 degree. For example, for some meat blocks or some chicken products, you can be between -3 and -1 degrees. For some products, let's say, like fruits, vegetables, you can even reach a final temperature between -2 degrees and 0 degree. For fish products, like seafood products, HF products, it's more or less -4 degrees. And for butter, butter is the only product which can reach a positive temperature with the microwave technology, and it will be about +5 degrees within maximum 10 minutes. Okay. Then if we continue the video, we'll see the radio frequency technology. So the first thing I wanted to tell you before I show you the video is that SAIREM, we are the only company in the world which is able to offer the microwave technology and the radio frequency technology. Some companies in the market will only produce microwave equipments. Some other companies will only produce radio frequency equipment. We can offer one of these both technologies. Let's say we will choose, you know, the technology according to what the customer wants to do. Yeah. So we have actually the best experience and the best know-how to recommend the right technology. Today, to be honest with you, the radio frequency technology has the biggest benefits for non-tempering applications. For example, it's a very big market in the textile industry. For drying, it's also a very good technology. For tempering, it will have an advantage only if we are talking about fish products. And when I say fish products, it's mainly for products which have a very regular shape, which is the case, for example, for fish blocks. So you know the standard fish blocks of 7.5 kilos, that can be salmon, that can be codfish, and for which the final temperature should be, let's say, between -3 degrees and -1 degree, so that they can be processed, for example, like in a forming machine to produce. In the food industry, this is the only situation in which the radio frequency is better. For other products like meat, poultry, fruits, vegetables, or butter, then the microwave technology will be more suitable. So in the video, the principle of the radio frequency technology is very similar with the microwave technology. So you still have a cavity, still have the conveyor belt in which the products are running, but also what we can see inside the cavity, we have 2 plates that we call electrodes. So one on the top here and one on the bottom. So with the electrodes, it means that the power will be coming from the top, and it will be working very well if the products are very regular. This is the reason why for fish blocks, the standard fish blocks, then it's excellent. The tempering time is longer than the microwave technology. It takes, let's say, about 20 to 40 minutes, so it's about 5 to 6 times longer, but still comparing to traditional systems, it's much faster. So it's working very well for the products on the right. So for this regular block, like a fish block, it's excellent. You can reach a final temperature between -3 and -1. However, if you are using a meat block, which is not regular, if you use the same time like for the microwave, then we'll have temperature differences. And to be more homogeneous, then we need to add more time. This is the reason why it takes about 20 to 40 minutes for a complete good tempering results. For your information, this video can be found on YouTube and also on the website of SAIREM. So we'll send you later the link to our website. Some information, some technical information about the 2 technologies. So you can see that we have here a complete spectrum of different technologies that can be used. We have the radio wave, or we should say radio frequency, the microwave, but we also have the infrared, the UV, the X-ray. The most important thing to know is that either if you use the microwave technology or the radio frequency technology, we are talking about a heat treatment. So it's like, for example, for some of you, if you have any defrosting tumblers or any retorts, for sterilization, it's like if you are using steam. So it's very safe for the operators, first of all, for the product as well, and also for the machine itself. The frequency that we're using are very low. It's maximum 915 megahertz frequency for tempering. So it's very low compared to very high frequencies that can be used, like the X-ray. It's a heat treatment, so it's not ionizing. So it means that also you don't need any certification, you don't need to fulfill any requirements to be allowed to use a microwave machine or radio frequency machine. Here on this slide, we can see the different frequencies that can be used. If we talk about the radio frequency, the main frequency that we are using for tempering will be 13.56 megahertz or the 27.12 megahertz. If we talk about the microwave technology, then in the food industry, we'll have the 915 megahertz frequency and the 2450 megahertz. The 5800 is used, but not for food. It's used for chemistry. So if we focus on the microwave technology, probably most of you guys are using a microwave oven at home. If you, for example, want to reheat a product, or to maybe also to quickly defrost a ready meal. In your domestic oven, you are using the frequency 2450 megahertz. Okay. For tempering, we are using the 915 megahertz frequency. There is, I would say, an important thing to know is that the 2450 megahertz frequency is the frequency of the domestic oven, and it can't be used for tempering like standard meat blocks. Why? Because it's related to the wavelength. So with the 2450 megahertz frequency, we are using a wavelength of 12 centimeters. So it means that it's very suitable if you are using, products which have a very small thickness. So let's say 5, maximum 6 centimeters. For the case for ready meal, that's excellent. But if you want to temper like standard meat block of 25 kilos, which has standard dimensions, so 60 centimeters in the length, 40 centimeters in the width, and 20 centimeters in the height, then the 2450 megahertz technology will not be limited. Will not be working, and the reason is because the wavelength is too small. So in order to have a good result, a good homogeneity, then we have to use the 950 megahertz frequency. And then the wavelength is 33 centimeters. And as the waves are coming from the top and from the bottom, so you can perfectly temper any meat blocks, any chicken products, or any fruits or vegetables, high-trade products, butter as well. So we have a perfect homogeneity, and as I said earlier, the time will be very quick. It will be about 5 minutes. So thing to remember, for tempering, we only talk about the 915 megahertz frequency, and of course, all the machines that we are producing for tempering are using this 915 megahertz frequency. Okay, so here the principle is a little bit similar to what we watched together earlier on the video. With the microwave technology, all the microwaves are coming from everywhere, from the top, from the bottom. So it's very important because with that you can have you can be sure that you will have a perfect distribution of the microwaves inside the product, and also in the end you will have a perfect homogeneity. However, the radio frequency must be working with electrodes. So in that case, the power is coming from the top and will be only going to the top of the products. So this is the reason why it's excellent for standard fish blocks. However, for irregular products like meat, it's more complicated. So the tempering technologies, either microwave or radio frequency with SAIREM, have a lot of benefits. More and more companies who are using traditional systems or classical systems, I should say, want to find some solutions to problems that they can have. One of them is the temperature homogeneity, in the result after tempering. For them, it's really important, to be extremely homogeneous, without any temperature differences, without any hotspots, of course, so that they can process the meat, for example, for grinding, for dicing, or for tumbling. So with the microwave technology, we can ensure the best homogeneity between -4 and -2 degrees, or sometimes between -3 and -1, depending on the products. Also, we can ensure heating selectivity on all the products. So for example, if you have any products with bones or with fat for meat, then the microwave technology will not change the color or the appearance of the product, thanks to the selectivity. And the heating on these both technologies is directly going to the center, and then from the center you go to the edges, to the sides of the products. So it's the opposite of the defrosting system that we can find traditionally. There is very high electrical efficiency. For the microwave technology, the electrical efficiency is between 80 and 85%. So it's the highest also on the market. And also the heating is very quick, between 3 and 10 minutes for the microwave technology. So the solutions that we can offer. So as I said earlier, you can temper any kind of frozen products. So meat is one of the biggest markets for us because most of the companies in the world defrost meat. However, we also have a huge experience to temper butter, to temper fruits, to temper vegetables, actually to temper any kind of frozen products in the food industry. These products can be used in different shapes. It can be a block of meat. For vegetables and fruits, that can be also IQF products. You can use any kind of packaging. So for example, you can use products in boxes, like we can see on the right-hand side. We can also use products with a plastic film. We can also use products with trays. We can also, of course, use products without any packaging, so naked products. We have also different equipment. We'll see them later on during the presentation, but basically you can easily temper a product from 100 kilos per hour as a capacity, and you can reach until 20 tons per hour for the biggest equipment. So for the microwave technology, we have 2 kinds of machines. We have the batch tempering machines, as you can see with the 2 pictures on the left. We are also offering continuous tempering equipment that we'll see later. So basically, the difference between these 2 systems will be, first of all, depending on the capacity. So basically, the batch machines have a capacity between 100 and 1,000 kilos per hour. Regarding the continuous tempering machine, is between 1 ton until 20 tons. So all the machines we are producing are standard. So we produce them in a huge amount every year, so they are really standardized. The principle, if you take the picture on the left, you can see that you can put the products into a trolley or sliding table. So depending on the model, you can put either 1 block, 2 blocks, or 4 blocks of meat. And then inside there is the cavity with the door, which will open to put the products and which will close during the cycle. So it's a manual system. It's very similar to the domestic oven that you can have. You can also even find a sliding table inside the machine in order to improve the microwave distribution and also improve the homogeneity. Okay, so the machines that we have. So we have 3 models in total. It's coming from the AMW100, which is the one on the left, the AMW200 in the middle, and the AMW400 on the right-hand side. All the machines are using the 915 megahertz frequency. There are some exceptions. In the UK, they are using the 896 megahertz frequency, and in Australia and New Zealand, it's 922. For you guys in South Africa, of course, it will be the 915 megahertz frequency. So these machines are very compact. Yeah, you can see that dimensions on the bottom. It's more or less 2 meters on the length, 2 meters on the width, and 2 meters on the height. Yeah. So you can put them actually almost anywhere in your facilities. Then we have the continuous tempering machines. So basically here it's suitable if you need to reach at least 1 ton per hour for the capacity. If you don't want to have an operator who's always loading and unloading the products in front of the manual machine, and it's also suitable if you need to continuously temper the same products within a certain time. So like the batch, still fast, takes 3 to 10 minutes. There is no drip loss. We'll see later on why there is no drip loss, and there's also no risk to have any bacteria. So we have 5 different models. The TMW35, which is the smallest model, the most compact continuous tempering machine. So basically, this machine is excellent if you need to temper, let's say, between 1 ton and 1.5 ton of meat products from -18 to -4 degrees. It's a new machine that we added in the range that was something like 5 years ago. The reason why we added it is because we have a lot of customers in Asia who don't have a lot of space. So they were looking for a continuous solution, but which is as compact as possible. And the TMW35 meets all these requirements, and is the most successful machine that we have. So usually we sell between, let's say, 6 and 10 machines each year for this model. Then we have different continuous machines. Unlike the TMW35, they have different sizes. Different sizes. First of all, on the belt width, we can put 2 blocks on the machine, on width. The generator must be located outside because it's a 75 kilowatt generator, so it's a very efficient, and we need to put it close to the machine, but not inside. And the cavity also is a bit longer. So basically, TMW75 is perfect if you need to temper between 2 and 3 tons of meat products per hour. It's with 1 generator and 1 cavity. Then we have the TMW150, so which has 2 cavities and 2 generators. So actually, the capacity is 2 times bigger compared to the TMW75. So we can go up from 4 to 6 tons per hour for a final temperature between -4 and -2 degrees. And then we also have some bigger lines, the TMW225 with 3 cavities and 3 generators. And then the biggest one, the TMW300 with 4 cavities and 4 generators. So something which is important, starting from the TMW75, the machines are modular. So it means that, for example, if you buy a TMW75 because you just need to temper 2 tons per hour, and then let's imagine that in the future, maybe in 1 year or in 2 years, you need to double the capacity. So you can upgrade, we can upgrade the TMW75 to get a TMW150 without having to buy a TMW150. Basically, on the TMW75, we can add a second generator, a second cavity, the additional accessories, so that you can increase the capacity to get a TMW150. So it's the same thing if you need to go to a TMW225 or a TMW300. So now I will talk about the quality, because I saw the presentation before, the question that was asked, and I could see that most of you guys are using traditional systems. It can be a defrosting room, it can be a steam room, it can be products also in the bath, in the water bath. So basically, the microwave technology will bring a lot of benefits, a lot of advantages compared to some systems that you are using at the moment. The first important benefit is the time. Today, on the microwave tempering equipment, time is very quick. It's the fastest way to temper a product from -18 to -4, -2, it basically takes maximum 10 minutes. 10 minutes is also in the, let's say, the worst conditions. If the product is sensitive with a lot of bones or fat, or if the requested final temperature must be close to 0. But if we talk about meat like beef, pork, or chicken from -18 to -4, and if the meat doesn't have a lot of fat, it can be 5 minutes. So it's extremely quick, yeah? Much quicker to systems that can take several hours or sometimes several days. It's also a system in which you're sure that you can have the perfect final temperature after tempering. So you can have a perfect homogeneity. Today, on all the products that can be tempered on the microwave machine, we can guarantee the very best homogeneity with maximum 2 degrees difference. So if you're looking for, let's say, -3 degrees as a final temperature, the temperature on the products after tempering will be between -4 and -2 degrees, without any hot spots, without any change of colors. Another important advantage is if you are using plastic film. We have most of our customers who are using plastic films to cover the meat blocks. In the past, they were using other traditional systems, and they had a huge problem. This problem was that they had difficulties to remove the plastic film after tempering or after defrosting. And most of the time, also a piece of plastic film was staying inside the meat block. Here, with the microwave technology, you don't have this problem. We can watch this video. It's MDM chicken product after tempering at -3 degrees. You can see how quick and how easy it is to remove the plastic film. So it's quick, it's easy, you're sure that there is no plastic film inside. For customers who are also using, defrosting tumblers when they need to inject or when they need to reach a positive temperature, there's also a strong advantage to use the microwave from -18 to -4. And then at -4, you remove the plastic film so that you can put the products into the tumbler without the plastic film. Then some financial advantages, some savings actually for companies. The first one is related to the drill process. So today, our customers who are using a microwave machine or radio frequency machine for fish, they don't have any drip losses. So the weight of the product before tempering will be the same after tempering. Why? The answer is quite easy. It's because the final temperature is still negative. So we're still below 0 degree. So there is no oxidation, no change of state. So you have you can be sure that the product after tempering for this application will not have any drip loss. So it means that you can later on put the blocks into a grinder or into a dicing machine by keeping the exact same weight as it was before tempering. And of course, for companies, that's a really strong benefit because you can save a lot of money just because you don't lose any drip loss. So later on, I will show you a quick payback calculation that we made for one of our biggest customers. As a second advantage regarding the saving for companies is the space. We have batch machines, so it's 2 meters long, 2 meters wide, and 2 meters height. So you can put them anywhere in the facilities. We also have continuous machines. The biggest one is 18 meters long, but also for 20 tons per hour. So basically, you can save space in your factory by using a tempering equipment with the microwave or the radio frequency technology. For some of my customers, it's also been a way to replace their former defrosting system by another process in their factory in case they can't expand their facilities. For the continuous machines, there is also the possibility to have a complete automatic system. So this is a machine that we sold to a company in Northern Europe. It's one of the biggest meat processing companies in the area. They produce a lot of products, beef products. They supply also to McDonald's, for example, and they clearly wanted to find a solution in which they can have the most automatic system as possible. And you can see on the back the continuous tempering tunnel, the TM35, and here the customer, with the support of our local distributor, they installed a metal detector and then a conveyor, so that everything can be automatically loaded before and after tempering. So with this system, there is only one operator who is in charge of all the application. There are also some savings for companies when they have to use a lot of products. You know, when you are using, when you need to defrost product with traditional systems, you need also to put a lot of products, to have a lot of products on stock in your facilities. And today, with our system, you can be much quicker, much more flexible as well. So it can also be a way to reduce the quantity and the number of frozen products you need to have on stock. So here, this is a payback calculation that we made regarding the drip losses. So remember, I told you that the drip losses is one of the biggest benefits. The rate before and after tempering is the same when you use the microwave technology. Here, we made this case study with a European company. They used to use a traditional system to temper meat blocks, 25 kilos. They needed a capacity of 2 tons per hour. And at that time, they had a 5% drip losses. So they calculated, and every hour they were losing 100 kilos. The price of 1 kilo of meat was 2 euros. So it means that every hour they were losing 200 euros. They wanted to work 8 hours per day. So every day they were losing 1,600 euros. And every year they are working 250 days per year. So basically they made the calculations, and they realized that with the microwave technologies, they've been able to save until 400,000 euros per year just because they don't have any drip loss anymore. So it means that for this equipment, within 6 months, there's been already a payback, a return on investments. Some other advantages of the technology is more related to the speed and reactivity. So today, as I said, tempering is fast. is the fastest way to temper a frozen product with the microwave technology, from 3 to 10 minutes. If you are using other systems, that can be much longer, most of the time between 24 and 48 hours. For companies, it's also a way to be much more flexible, much more reactive. I have some examples for companies, small size companies we are working with. They had to change to a microwave technology because in the past, when they got unexpected orders, they were not able to deliver on time because it took them several hours to defrost, yeah? So their customers couldn't wait. Yeah? And now they've been able to get some new markets, to get some new customers because the tempering time is quick. Yeah? They know that if they get a last-minute order, this order can be processed, can be delivered as soon as possible because it just takes a couple of minutes to temper their frozen products. Then from our side, we have a lot of customers who are, let's say, interested in equipment, but they want to see also how the result is with our products. So from our side, there is the possibility to make tests anytime. So it can be made on a batch machine. It can also be made on continuous machines. It can be made directly in our company. We have a demo center also with defrosting, with freezers, sorry, so in which we can also store the products at -18 degrees so that the test can be made in the right conditions. But we can also rent, I mean, our customers can rent, sorry, our machine if they want to make the test in the factories for a certain time, like a couple of days or also a couple of weeks. So it's something that we can offer in case you are interested and you want to check how your product looks like after tempering. So I'm finished with the presentation. I have maybe if I have some time as well, I'd love to.
Yeah, we can. All good.
Great, perfect. So it's a customer, a small size company in France. They are tempering many meat products like beef, lamb, chicken as well, standard blocks of 25 kilos. The objective for them is to temper from -18 to about -4 degrees. And after that, you will see that they will put the products into a grinder. So here the system is easy. You have one operator who's opening and closing the door with a touchscreen on the left. And then you can see the blocks after tempering. So it's about -4 degrees. You can see there is no hot spot, no liquid, no drip loss, and they can directly continue the process that they need. So this video shows that you can have a very good since TMW35, so the smallest continuous equipment. This machine was sold to a customer in Asia. They temper different kind of meat products like beef, like chicken. And you see that they put different products and also different packages. The plastic film, with the crate, so it's working very well. The products are on the conveyor belt. The speed of the conveyor can be increased or decreased depending on the results that need to be reached. And after that, so after about maximum 8 minutes approximately, you can already reach a temperature which is here in this case between -1 and -2 degrees. And then you can also easily separate the meat products. we sold in 2005 to a customer in England. It's a customer who's tempering beef and pork, also on the microwave technology. And the objective for them is to be able to directly dice the meat block after tempering, without any waiting time, without leaving the product for a while, for example, in the room. So here, they decide to remove the carton. They just want to keep the plastic film, which is, of course, fine and possible. Then we have the products after tempering. So here you can see how homogeneous the temperature is. So it's between -3 and -2 degrees, exactly. There is no liquid, no drip loss, no change of color, no hot spots. So that's really a wonderful result. And after that, you can directly put this meat block into the dicing equipment. So in terms of flexibility, that's really the best, because this customer who's been using the machine for 15 years purchased a second machine 2 years ago, and he could save a lot of time, and also he could reduce the drip losses that he had. So that was a very quick payback for him on the equipment. And just the last one, just to finish, then to show you a big line as well. That's the BMW 150. So it's a continuous machine for 4 to 6 tons per hour. It's sold to a factory in France, which belongs to Sigma, and they produce sausages, and they use the equipment to temper like pork blocks, 20 kilos from -18, and for that process they need to reach about -2, -3 degrees. So you can see that you can also install before some conveyors, put the products into the crates. Here, this part is after tempering, also with some conveyors that were added by the customer. And here you can see directly the operator just need to put the meat products into the crate with the plastic film. Of course, it's possible. And once they are in the machine, they can be tempered. And here the tempering time is also about, let's say, 6 to maximum 8 minutes, from -18 to about -2 degrees. The good thing here, you can see that the product is not easy because you have a lot of fat. It's about 50% fat and 50% meat. So it's working. The only thing that we need to do is that when you use a sensitive product, so with a lot of fat or a lot of bones, we just need to adjust the parameters, the recipe, just to reduce the power and increase a little bit the time in order to have the right homogeneity, I would say, after tempering.
You were speaking about tempering, and
yes.
Is it possible to go through the phase change with your system?
Yeah, so thank you, Jens. It's a very good question. So today we talk about tempering, you're right, yeah. There is one product that we can defrost, totally defrost, is butter. But first of all, I will explain why it's not possible, neither with the microwave technology nor with the radio frequency technology to defrost. This is related to physics. Actually, you know, when you have a meat block at -18 degrees, it's solid, you have a lot of ice inside the product. as you also perfectly said during your presentation, it's very quick when you need to go to -4 degrees. Yeah? But then after -4 degrees, when you need to get closer to 0, then you need to, there's a change of state, yeah? From a solid state to liquid state. And around -2 degrees approximately, you will have some parts of the blocks which are still solid, which still have ice, and some parts of the blocks which are getting liquid. You can see some water which is appearing. The thing is that for us on the microwave technology and also on the radio frequency technology, you need to stop before there is too much liquid which is appearing, because the microwaves will absorb the water. And the thing is that if you want to continue, add maybe 1 or 2 more minutes or increase the power, then the risk is that the parts with the water can very quickly go higher in temperature. So slowly and slowly get a positive temperature, or maybe even hot spots. Yeah? So you lose in the homogeneity. So today, our equipment are really for tempering, for meat, fruits, vegetables, because also most of the companies we are working with, they need to grind, they need to dice, they need to cut the products, they need to put them also into a tumbler. So they don't need to go to +2 or +4. The negative temperature is already fine for them. Of course, with your technology, Jens, there's also good synergy that I see, is that for companies who do need to go up to +2, +4, because they need to inject, like salt, grinds, spices, and so on, and we can't use a tumbler because they don't have the budget for that, or they don't have the space for that, then there's a good synergy to use the SAIREM equipment from -18 to, let's say, -2 degrees, and then put the meat blocks into the defrosting room of Reuter to go to +2, +4. But we have some customers who are doing that. I think it's not with your equipment, but with some competitors of yours, but it's a good way. Then we have products like fruits or vegetables. Unlike meat, you can go to almost 0 degree. It will be, let's say, between -2 and 0 degree, with excellent results. It's a bit longer, maybe something like 8 or 10 minutes. Then it's also a good solution to be close to 0. And then the last thing, for butter. For butter, we made a lot of tests. We sold many machines for that application. And this is the only product which can reach a positive final temperature, which is more or less +5 degrees.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think it is an important question because, what I've definitely understood today is the very distinct difference between defrosting and tempering. And I think that's, as you mentioned, Mathieu, in terms of how you're going to use the product the next step,